Do you ever feel like you're already behind in life? Like everyone around you seems to be doing something big, starting a company, buying property, getting engaged, traveling to Bali, and you're just trying to figure out what to eat for dinner? Yeah. Welcome to your 20s. We've been told this decade is where you're supposed to figure it all out. But guess what? You don't have to. Most of the things you're stressing about right now don't actually matter in the long run. So in this video, we're breaking down what actually matters in your 20s. And it's not what social media or hustle culture says. We'll look at three big areas that genuinely shape your 20s: what builds your foundation, what shapes your mindset, and what defines your relationships with others and yourself. And by the end, I'll give you a quick reality check that might make your 20s feel a whole lot lighter. Let's dive in. We grow up thinking our 20s are about achieving, getting the degree, landing the dream job, having an aesthetic apartment. But your 20s are less about achievement and more about alignment. This is your decade to lay foundations, not to build skyscrapers. You're not supposed to have the full map yet. You're just collecting the compass points that'll guide you for the rest of your life. So, what actually builds your foundation? First, skills, not status. You might not have your dream job yet, and that's fine. What matters more is building transferable skills: communication, problem solving, teamwork, emotional awareness. You don't need the perfect job. You need a place where you can learn fast. Even if your job isn't glamorous, you're stacking skills that'll pay off later. I know someone who worked in customer service for years and now runs a startup because those years taught her how to handle customers and chaos. That's real world education. Second, habits over hustle. Let's be honest, hustle culture lied to us. You don't need to grind 24/7 to make it. You need systems that sustain you: sleep, movement, reading, time to rest. Discipline will get you what motivation can't sustain. It's not about working harder. It's about building routines that keep you grounded when life gets messy, because it will get messy. And third, financial literacy, your secret power up. You don't need to be rich right now. You just need to learn how money works. Understanding credit, budgeting, saving, and investing small amounts will save you years of stress later. Even $50 a month invested can grow into thousands over time. Here's a quick win. Download a free budget app and track your spending for a week. You'll be shocked by how much clarity it brings. Your foundation is about skills, habits, and financial awareness, not perfection. If your 20s had a soundtrack, it would probably be a mix of "I'm lost" and "I'm running out of time." We constantly compare ourselves to people online, same age, different paths, and start believing we're failing. But you're not behind. You're just on your own timeline. Here are three mindset shifts that actually matter. First, progress over perfection. You know that pressure to make the right choice, the right job, city, or partner. You won't always know what's right, and that's okay. Life isn't a test, it's an experiment. Your 20s are about trying things, not nailing things. So stop asking, "Is this it?" and start asking, "What can I learn from this?" Second, failure is data, not identity. Every mistake teaches you what doesn't work, which is just as valuable as what does. You're not broken for failing. You're building resilience. There's a quote that says, "The master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried." Third, growth isn't always visible. Just because you can't see progress doesn't mean it's not happening. The small, boring things, reading, journaling, therapy, reflection, they compound quietly. So, if it feels slow, remember, you're not stuck. You're growing in ways you can't measure yet. All right, let's talk about the people part of your 20s: relationships. Because who you spend time with will quietly shape everything else. You'll notice something in your 20s. People start to drift, not because anyone's wrong, but because everyone's growing differently. And that's normal. What actually matters is connection, not quantity. A few real, honest friendships will do more for your mental health than 1,000 followers ever could. So nurture the people who make you feel seen, supported, and safe. And while we're here, let's talk about your relationship with yourself. This decade can be brutal for self-comparison. You'll question your worth, your pace, and your potential a lot. But the truth is, self-respect builds faster than self-confidence. Confidence says, I can do this. Self-respect says, even if I can't yet, I still deserve kindness. Treat yourself like someone you're responsible for taking care of. That means rest without guilt, boundaries without apology, and progress without pressure. Okay, let's take a breath, because I want to drop one reality check before we wrap this up. No one really knows what they're doing in their 20s. Even the people who look like they have it all figured out are just winging it with better lighting. You're allowed to be uncertain. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to slow down. The goal isn't to have everything. It's to have enough clarity to take your next step. So stop waiting for the perfect plan. It doesn't exist. Just take the next honest step. That's what matters. And if you're watching this feeling a little lost, that's okay. Being lost just means you're moving through places you've never been before. That's where growth hides. So here's your quick recap. Build your foundation. Focus on skills, habits, and financial literacy. Shape your mindset. Progress over perfection, failure is data, growth even when invisible. And invest in your relationships, with people who uplift you, and with yourself most of all. Because at the end of the day, your 20s aren't about racing ahead. They're about learning how to walk your own pace with confidence. So take the pressure off. Your 20s don't need to be perfect to be meaningful. They just need to be yours. If this video helped you breathe a little easier, share it with someone who might need the same reminder. Because trust me, no one has it all together. And that's exactly what makes your 20s so beautiful. Thanks for watching. And remember, you're doing better than you think.